All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something absolutely massive in the world of artificial intelligence. We're unpacking a new research paper from DeepSeek AI all about the creation of DeepSeek R1. If you've been tracking AI lately, you know that reasoning, the ability to solve really complex math, write flawless code, use actual logic, that is the holy grail. But how do we actually get these models to reason better? For the longest time, the answer was just, well, feed them more human examples. But as we'll see, DeepSeek took a completely different path, a real game changer. So what happens when an AI literally stops copying humans and starts teaching itself? Just imagine that for a second. An AI that isn't bottlenecked by our human demonstrations. What happens when it figures out how to solve incredibly complex problems entirely on its own? That right there is the core premise of this whole DeepSeek project. They wanted to see if an AI could develop advanced reasoning, stuff like self-reflection and dynamically adapting its strategy without us constantly holding its hand.
Section 1. The Human Data Bottleneck. Moving beyond supervised learning.
Let's break down how we traditionally train models versus what DeepSeek did. Usually, we rely on supervised fine-tuning, or SFT. You basically feed the model millions of human annotated reasoning steps. And hey, it's incredibly effective, but it acts a lot like rote memorization. The AI is really just mimicking human thought. The big problem here, and this is absolutely crucial to understand for the future of AI, is that its potential is inherently capped by those human examples. It literally cannot be smarter than the data we spoon-feed it. Now contrast that with pure reinforcement learning, or RL. Instead of giving the AI exact step-by-step instructions, you just give it a problem, and you hand out a reward when it gets the right answer. It learns purely by trial and error. DeepSeek's big hypothesis was, if you take off the training wheels of SFT, pure reinforcement learning could let the AI discover superior, entirely non-human-like reasoning pathways. And that led to a totally radical experiment. Section 2. Zero Human Supervision. DeepSeek R10's experiment. Now, to pull off this pure reinforcement learning approach without completely bankrupting themselves on computing costs, the researchers really had to innovate. Normally, AI labs use an algorithm called PPO. The catch? PPO requires a massive value model that's basically the same size as the main AI model itself. It's a huge memory and compute hog. DeepSeek, on the other hand, went with Group Relative Policy Optimization, or GRPO. The genius of GRPO is that it skips that massive value model entirely. No giant secondary brain needed. Instead, it evaluates the AI's thoughts by scoring a group of outputs relative to each other. This made the whole RL process highly efficient and scalable, which, as you'll see, was absolutely necessary for what they pulled off next. So how exactly do you train an AI if you aren't giving it the answers? Well, you use a ridiculously simple reward system based on just two rules. First up, accuracy rewards. If the AI is solving a math problem or writing some code, a compiler or a strict math rule just checks the final answer. Right answer? Boom, reward. Wrong answer? Nothing. Second rule, format rewards. They force the model to make its internal monologue visible. It had to put all its reasoning explicitly inside think tags before giving the final answer. And that's literally it, the whole shebang. There's no secondary neural network judging its tone, no human telling it how to think, just accuracy and format. Section 3. The AI aha moment, the spontaneous emergence of reasoning. This part is just wild. When training started on the AMA benchmark, which, by the way, is a highly difficult mathematics exam, the model was getting, maybe 15.6% of the questions right. Not great. But driven entirely by that simple reward of getting the correct answer, the model organically evolved. Its accuracy absolutely skyrocketed to 77.9%. Think about that. It wasn't given any tutorials, no step-by-step human guides. It literally just figured out how to be better at math purely through trial and error. It's a brilliant illustration of the raw power of unconstrained learning.
Okay, but how did it actually get so much better? Well, its average response length steadily climbed as training progressed, and that length is essentially the AI's thinking time. No external prompt ever told it to think longer. R10 just naturally figured out that if it generates more tokens, if it really takes its time to systematically explore alternative solutions before spitting out an answer, it gets higher rewards. It organically learned the value of patience. How cool is that?
And as it spent more time thinking, it started developing entirely new cognitive behaviors. There's this incredible excerpt from the model's internal think tags during a tricky math problem. It writes out an equation and then literally says to itself, wait,
that's an aha moment I can flag here. Let's reevaluate this step by step. I mean, no way, right? It's almost like it's having a light bulb moment out loud. The AI spontaneously adopted this anthropomorphic tone to self-reflect, flag its own potential mistake, and double-check its work. It autonomously developed the strategy of self-verification. Now, to be fair, while 1.0 was brilliant at finding the right answer, it was also kind of a mess. It was purely optimized for being correct, not for readability. So it would do bizarre things like mixing English and Chinese within a single thought process. Section 4. Polishing the brain, from 0 to R1. So to turn that raw, messy reasoning engine into a polished, usable product, DeepSeek built a multi-stage training pipeline. The goal here was straightforward. Keep the incredible reasoning superpowers of the 0 model, but align it with human preferences so it's actually pleasant and safe for us to use. Let's break down exactly how they built up to the final R1 model. First up, they did a cold start. They gathered thousands of highly readable, human-aligned reasoning examples and fine-tuned the base model. This basically taught it, hey, a thought process should be clear, and please stick to one language. Second, they applied reinforcement learning specifically for reasoning tasks, but this time they added a language consistency reward. So if it started randomly mixing English and Chinese, it got penalized. Third, they used the model to generate a massive amount of data, filtered out all but the absolute best outputs, a technique called rejection sampling, and combined that with general data like creative writing and factual Q&A. Finally, stage 4, a second round of general RL. This was all about teaching it to be helpful and harmless in everyday normal conversations, not just when solving complex math puzzles. And this really matters because it bridges that crucial gap between raw, cold machine logic and a helpful everyday assistant. Section 5. The next AI frontier. Implications and limitations. The resulting polished R1 model achieves what is widely considered frontier-level performance. It's competing with the best of the best out there. On general knowledge benchmarks like MMLU, it scores above 90%. On the Amy math benchmark, it pushes nearly 80% accuracy. And get this, in competitive coding on Codeforces, it sits in the 96.3 percentile. So what's the big takeaway here? What does this all mean? It proves that pure reinforcement learning is definitively a viable path forward to creating elite tier AI. You actually don't need an infinite supply of human data. What you really need are highly efficient RL algorithms and rock-solid ways to verify the final answers. But hey, as with any good explainer, we've got to look at the limitations. The researchers are actually very transparent about where R1 falls short. First off, that language mixing issue, it's not 100% solved. It might still think in English, even if you ask it a question in Spanish. Second is what they call reward hacking. When evaluating subjective tasks, like creative writing, the AI can sometimes learn to trick the reward model instead of, actually writing a better story. Third is token inefficiency. Because it learned to think so long and hard about complex problems, it will occasionally write out paragraphs of deep internal monologue just to answer what is 1 + 1. It vastly overcomplicates simple things, which wastes computing power. And finally, its ability to output rigid structural formats like JSON is a bit weak, and it doesn't yet know how to operate real-world software tools. And that actually brings us to the future. The researchers explicitly state that their very next frontier is integrating tools. Just imagine this for a second. An AI that already knows how to self-reflect, verify its own logic, and learn by trial and error. What happens when that AI isn't just solving math equations in a vacuum, but is given access to a code compiler, a live search engine, or even robotic interfaces to physically test its results in the real world? DeepSeek R1 proves that machines can incentivize their own reasoning. The next step? Seeing what happens when they can apply that reasoning to the physical and digital world around them. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, and as always, keep questioning.